It is Tuesday the 19th of January and it's our time for our story. So we are going to be reading the next part of Witch Wars. We're going to be reading 2 chapters today. So we're starting on chapter 14, which was called The First Clue. It all happened very quickly. So quickly, in fact, that it has gone down in history as the quickest Witch Wars fight on record. Felicity Bat flew towards Tiga, her arms outstretched and clearly aimed at the shrivelled head on top of Tiga's hat. If it was viewed in slow motion, which it was by millions watching the replay on the Fairy Network, this is what happened. Donna the Fairy bit Aggie Hoof's toe. Aggie Hoof then spun round and knocked into Peggy, who fell forward and straight into Lizzie Beast, who turned to see what Peggy was doing, hit one of Julie's jumbo wings and sent her spinning through the air straight into Felicity Bat's face. Peggy realised what was going on, grabbed Tiga's arm, screamed, "This way!" and, even though she had absolutely no idea where she was going, ducked down a side street and ran and ran and ran quite a lot more. "I think we've lost her," Tiga said. "Thanks, Pegs." "Do you mean Felicity Bat or Fran?" Peggy panted, struggling to speak. I meant Felicity Bat, but..." "Peggy, we have also lost Fran." They looked up and down the street and up in the air. "We've definitely lost Fran," Tiga concluded. "Or have you?" Fran said, walking down the wall looking smug. "I'm a pro, you know. When I did a TV show about fairies who refuse to fly, called Wasted Wings, I ran around a lot, so let me tell you I'm well prepared for this competition." Peggy was still panting. She was doubled over now. She held up a hand. "That's great, Fran." "That was close," Tiga said nervously. Peggy wheezed and pulled her notebook out of her pocket. She shakily scribbled the clue in it and placed it on the ground. "I have no idea what it means," she said. They all crowded around it. "It's something tall." "Maybe it's a giant. They're much taller than a pile of witches," suggested Tiga. Peggy cackled. "Giants aren't real." "Well then, maybe it's a mountain. What about that Pearl Peak place Aggie Hoof was harping on about?" "It could be Pearl Peak, I suppose," mumbled Peggy, pulling the map out of her pocket. "But no, the clue was could never be taller than us. There's only one mountain. It must be a group of tall things." Tiga's eyes darted about the map and settled on a cluster of really tall, spindly buildings. They were the tallest things on the map. "The towers," she read. "The towers!" Peggy cheered. Okay, we're on to chapter 15 now. Fluffanora gets what she wants. Meanwhile, back on the street, about 10 steps down the road from Linden House, Aggie Hoof was on her knees. "Please, just fly, Donna, fly, please!" Nearby, Fluffanora was speaking to Mavis by the jam stalls. "The thing I like most about jam is the word jam. It's a good word, isn't it?" Fluffanora said, turning a jar of jam in her hand. "Jam, jam, jam, jam." Mavis raised an eyebrow. "Aren't you meant to be competing in Witch Wars, Fluffanora?" Fluffanora shook her head. "Not interested, Mavis. Not interested." Just then, the tattered old witch with the cart of horrible hats creaked past. Fluffanora and Mavis watched her trundle on down the road towards Aggie Hoof. "Genuine hats, what I got from the pipes. Genuine hats from the pipes. Who wants genuine hats from them pipes, what I got from up there?" "Donna, just fly!" Aggie Hoof wasn't paying attention at all. The old witch came to a halt next to her. "Genuine hats, what I got from the pipes. Please!" Aggie Hoof roared. Well, the tattered old witch thought she meant, "Please give me the hat," which of course she didn't, and so she lifted off Aggie Hoof's hat and plonked a disgusting slimy one on top of her head. "Ta-da! What she got there, little witchy, is a genuine hat what I got from the pipes above." There was a pause. Everyone on the street seemed to freeze, apart from Donna, who adjusted the tiny camera on her head and pointed it at Aggie Hoof. "What is on my head?" Aggie Hoof screeched. Her voice shot up the street and bounced off the buildings. Almost everyone within a mile radius heard her, including Tiger, Peggy and Fran, who were only a couple of streets away, racing towards the hillside where the tall towers stood. Peggy skidded to a halt. "What do you think just happened?" Tiger asked. Peggy held Tiger's hand up. "TV, TV, 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 TV," she said. An image appeared. It was Aggie Hoof, spinning round madly. She was spinning so fast, all they could see was a huge puffy dress and a bit of hair sticking out of the top. And on top of that hair was a crusty old pointed hat. "Get it off! Get it off my head!" "Oh, calm down," Fluffanora said, strolling over. But Aggie Hoof couldn't hear anything over her own screeching, and she certainly couldn't see anything from under the hat. "Let me just take," Fluffanora began, but before she could finish, Aggie Hoof spun and smacked into her. Fluffanora's hat flew off. Aggie Hoof continued to spin round madly. "Take it off! Take it off!" Fluffanora did just that. She lifted the hat off Aggie Hoof's head. "Oh, Fluffanora," she squealed. "I knew we would be friends. You saved me." She took a step forward to try to hug Fluffanora. Crunch! Aggie Hoof stared down at her feet and her mouth fell open. "You silly, nonsense, stupid, rubbish, frog-faced idiot!" roared Millbug May, pointing a tiny finger at Aggie Hoof. It was the first thing Millbug May had said, and it was an interesting choice of words. "Aggie Hoof just squashed Fluffanora's shriveled head," Peggy cried. Tiger stared at the TV screen. Black smoke was billowing up Fluffanora's legs. Aggie Hoof slowly backed away and then shot off down the street. Donna the fairy sat down cross-legged on the pavement and waved as the irritating witch disappeared into the distance. Tiger watched in horror as the black smoke engulfed Fluffanora and she disappeared with a little pop. Fran giggled like a lunatic and pointed at the screen. "Oh, I love the pop. Before it was just smoke and disappearing. I suggested adding the pop. It really adds something, doesn't it?" "Where did she go?" Tiger asked. "She's fine. She's been sent home," said Fran. Behind them, a little further down the road, back at Linden House, the flag with Fluffanora's face on it curled up and fell to the ground. Fluffanora is out. The daughter of Ritzy City's most famous designer is the first to be knocked out of the competition, less than an hour after it began. Our reporter caught up with Fluffanora to ask her some questions. "Reporter, you're out, Fluffanora. How do you feel?" Fluffanora: "Yeah, good, thanks." Reporter: "How do you feel about the fact Aggie Hoof, Pearl Peak's richest kid and owner of Sinkville's only diamond-covered pet octopus, was the one who knocked your shriveled head off, Fluffanora?" Note from the Ritzy City Post editor: this interview ended abruptly as Fluffanora went inside Clutterbucks and our reporter wasn't allowed in. And so, a final word from Fluffanora's fairy, Millbug May. Millbug May, end. That's a final word, isn't it? Reporter: "Oh, never mind." And that is the end of chapter 15, everyone. So join in for storytime tomorrow where we will continue to read Witch Wars. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.